The edge of disappearance. The screen of the cracked phone is the only light in the room. For weeks it has been a portal away from this place. The ninth placement for Maya, who is 16 but feels 100 years old. Her caseworker, a woman with tired eyes and a stack of files that seems to grow with every visit, hasn't been by in a month. She doesn't blame her, not really. How can you see one girl when you're responsible for 30 others just like her? Invisible. That's what she is. A name on a list, a body to be shuffled from one stranger's house to the next. Online, though, she isn't invisible. Online, there's him. He's older, and he says he understands. He calls the constant moving what it is. Trauma. He calls her caseworker's absence what it is. Neglect. He tells her she's strong, a survivor, and that she deserves better than a system that loses track of its own children. He has an apartment, a job, a life waiting for her just a few hours away. An escape. She knows the red flags. She's seen the posters in the group homes. But the warnings feel distant, abstract, while the ache of loneliness is a physical weight in her chest. Here, she is a ghost, haunting the hallways of a house that will never be a home. With him, she could be someone. Anyone else? Her duffel bag is already packed with the few things she owns. The promises he's made are a dangerous melody, but it's the only music she can hear over the silence of being forgotten. She looks out the window at the long, flat darkness of the Kansas night. She takes a breath, zips up her jacket, and slips out the door, stepping off the edge of the map and into the predator's waiting arms. 1. A state of emergency, hiding in plain sight. The story of children like Maya disappearing from state custody is not an unfortunate accident in Kansas. It is a chronic and predictable outcome of a system in a state of collapse. While lawmakers express shock and officials offer defensive justifications, the numbers tell an undeniable story of systemic negligence. The state's privatized foster care system, charged with protecting its most vulnerable, has instead become a frighteningly efficient pipeline, delivering a steady stream of missing and desperate children into the hands of human traffickers. This is not a series of isolated tragedies. It is a state of emergency, hiding in plain sight. The scale of this crisis is staggering, a statistical indictment of the state's failure to fulfill its most basic duty of care. A national outlier, a federal report from the Office of Inspector General, OIG, found that between July 2018 and December 2020, there were 2,274 instances of a foster child going missing in Kansas. This placed Kansas among the 6 worst states in the nation, with over 7% of its foster children going missing during that period. A constant state of absence. In late 2021, state lawmakers were stunned to learn that at one point, over 70 children were simultaneously missing from the foster care system. The revolving door of disappearance. According to analysis by the advocacy group Kansas Appleseed, an average of 67 children go missing every month, and at any given time, almost half of all missing children have been gone for 1 to 6 months, a terrifying window of vulnerability. Systemic overload. These disappearances are happening within a system responsible for approximately 5,600 children, a population already under immense strain. The official response to these horrifying figures has been a masterclass in bureaucratic disconnect. When confronted with the news that 3 sisters, ages 12, 14, and 15, had been missing from their Tonganoxie foster home for 45 days, the Secretary of the Kansas Department for Children and Families, DCF, Phyllis Gilmore, appeared to be unaware of the case. The revelation prompted one lawmaker, Senator Laura Kelly, to declare, "I am flabbergasted. This disconnect between oversight and reality is not just an administrative oversight. It is a catastrophic failure. Each number represents a child who the state of Kansas took from their family with a promise of protection, only to lose them to the streets. It is in this vacuum of care that predators find their easiest prey." 2. The anatomy of a systemic failure. Children do not simply vanish, they flee. They run from instability, from feeling invisible, and from a system that too often confuses poverty with neglect. The crisis in Kansas is not the result of a single flaw, but a convergence of critical weaknesses that actively incentivize vulnerable youth to seek refuge elsewhere, no matter the risk. 2.1. An overburdened system at the breaking point. At the heart of the problem is a simple, damning fact. Kansas has far too many children in foster care. With roughly 5,600 children in the system, Kansas is an anomaly.
Feel the rhythm, move your feet. I love you radio, it's all about you. Feel the love, feel the groove.